Good day all. Ira Epstein of Linn and Associates with your SPDR ETF wrap-up for this Thursday, the 16th of September, 2021. So let's talk about tomorrow. In the SPY, DIA, the QQQ, IWM, triple witching. So you get rid of futures in the September contracts, the options on them. It's going to be a lot of volatility tomorrow. So be ready for that. It typically is on a triple witching day. You only get them at the end of quarters, so pay attention there. I spent time today and decided to go ahead and make my first special video report. Now, I realize this is a SPDR ETF video, but some of you trade DBA, which is the grains. And in the grains, I did a report on soybeans. Watch it. I'll talk about it at the end of this. And the reason is I'm going to be doing that format in these also. So I'll be doing them now. Every week you're going to get a special report unless there's a reason I don't want to do it during the week. I'll take time off from my webinars, do a webinar every other week, and do the special report every week. Got it? That's going to be the going. And I might kick up webinars if the markets get hot and heavy and we need them to talk about the market. Okay, so that's it. There's not a lot tomorrow in economic data that I'd get all concerned about. It's the University of Michigan consumer sentiment and everything else quiet for the day except triple witching. When we look at ARK, the market came down and it's finally got a bounce. Now notice yesterday made the lowest low of the move, came back up today, closed higher yesterday and again higher than the day before. That puts into place in the market, just so you'll know, a near-term support zone now. When we take a look at the swing line, you still have the trend down with lower highs, lower lows. To break the downtrend, you've got to get over 119.55. That ends this pattern where the market's gone from 126 down into this 115.60 level of a break. Where's the market fighting the battle? It's clear. It's the 100-day average, and if we add the Bollinger Band, you've snuck down to it, not today, but yesterday, and boom, right off of it. Exactly what I teach in an oversold condition. If you don't know how to work with Bollinger Bands, do yourself a favor. Go on our website under the word education and take a look at that Bollinger Band course. Next in the Apple stock. You know, I looked at Apple, and would I trade my phone in for the new phone now that I've done my bit of research? My answer is no. I don't use the camera in the way that a lot of people do. My wife would want that because she loves to take photos and videos and all. And I think that what they've really done is they've caught the pixels, if you will, and they've made a better mousetrap for the camera. But everything else, my own opinion from what I'm seeing is no. And I think the market's sort of agreeing that you're not getting that stellar performance out of it. Resistance back at 151.09. If the market slips, I see the support at the lower Bollinger Band, and you are oversold. In PAVE, well, you know, the talk is, can they get the reconstruction bill done or not? And that's going to be the hardest thing. Here's what you should be watching. The market has got both numbers under 20 today in the slow stochastic, not the day before. If the market builds 3 days of that, I think you're going even lower. If it doesn't, and I'm assuming it won't, then right here, this is all the support, the lower Bollinger Band, the 100-day average. You'll know that the market wants to give you some short covering. I think if you were to get over 26.59, the high of Wednesday, that could open the door to get back to the 18-day average of closes. In XLI, you're very oversold. You've hit your downside targets. While you're in a downtrend, you either embed, and that's going to take several days to do, or you got to just be an observer. That's how I view it. In XSD, well, we're getting the flip-flop here. And I have been telling my traders that I like the semiconductors. Just think about this. They have pricing power, and they have no product. So if you want to get some semiconductors and they tell you, hey, we have to have 7% more, 8% more, you don't have to pay it. Just don't build your automobile. Pretty interesting. It's called pricing power. I'm not saying they're doing that. I'm saying they have the power to do that. It's not a type of stock I'd want to be short. So I look at this and I say to myself, okay, they have the pricing power. That's going to fit well with their bottom line. Are we embedding? Both numbers over 80, both over 80, both over 80. I got an embedded reading, and I think the trade is buying these pullbacks, looking for the upper Bollinger Band. I covered that in the morning subscriber videos. PODX, very difficult to get short this stock against a lower Bollinger Band and you're not embedded. Let somebody else own it. In XHB, all right, we got down to the combination of the 100-day average and yesterday the Bollinger Band. What do I think the pros did? You're oversold. You hit the band. Again, what I teach in that course, and here's your bounce coming in the market. You're not out of the woods. Don't get me wrong. Covering shorts is not the same as going long. And most of you don't even go short. And I fully get that. So it's not a buy yet for you. That's all that I'm saying. As we step over to XLE, this is where I think the pros came out, not in. Yep, right up there. That's where I think they came out. First challenge of a Bollinger Band when you're overbought. Not a trend trade. The market had a lower and low, higher high. So if anybody had a different system and they're in it, I still think that's what they did. On the emerging markets, there's nothing here. You have a higher high, lower low. You are staying over the 18-day average, which keeps the bias of the market up. You got overbought. You're trying to correct that, but both numbers are still over 70, and I view any reading over 70 that isn't embedded with both numbers going over 80 for several days. Let the other guy own that type of stock. And here's the market that I said disappointing. Could I have been any clearer? Remember we were up here and it couldn't punch through and I said, watch out. I did not expect us to go back down like it's doing right now, but that's what it did. I knew enough to stand out of harm's way, I can tell you that. Gold miners, why would you want to own them if gold's no good? And gold hasn't been good since that whole rally. And on the futures, I have been adamant how bad gold looks. TLT, okay, you got up to the upper Bollinger Band right here. Here's your play. You have an uptrend. If you get up there, you're not embedded. What are you supposed to do? You know. Now, look what's happening. You look pretty good doing just that. FXE. The dollar's reigning supreme right now. These markets coming down, and that's basically what's at work. Now, as I told you, I'm going to be doing special reports. And yes, you're going to get them on the ETFs, the spiders, and occasionally I might even do one on a stock. And I'll try to cover the charts in a format that isn't exactly like futures. Let's face it, I can do weekly stocks, monthly. I don't have the seasonal patterns of stocks, but I have them in the grains, the metals, the gold. So when we're looking at GLD, I can do that. I did it in soybeans because they're going to get interesting, in my opinion, the last week of September, the beginning of October. I give you the reasons why, point it out, do the charts monthly, dailies, weeklies, and seasonals. You might want to take a look at it because it certainly impacts. When I go in and start doing the spider ones on SPY, you think I'm not going to be looking at the seasonals on the S&P futures? You know I am. With that, I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow.